Hey guys, welcome to day 1 of our 5-day Let's Learn Watercolor Challenge. This is our 3rd month doing this and I am so excited. We are going to be doing a bunch of different kinds of florals today. And all this week. So the first one, I want to teach you kind of a foundational technique to create very soft, very loose, very beautiful flowers. I don't know exactly what the technique is called, but my kids like to call it hungry brush. So without further ado, let's dive in. I like to use pink for these. And what I do first is create just a petal shape. And then I dip my brush in the water and I fill it in. The lighter your color is and the more water you have, the better these will turn out. So I'm going to add more water and just kind of blend this in. Now, here's the fun part. Ready? Dry your brush completely. Come in and just pick up all that paint. Look how cool that is. You want to not go over your edge so that way it's a good crisp line. And then I like to leave a bunch of color on one side of the petal just to add shading and value and variation. Let that dry. We're going to move to a different kind of petal or a different kind of flower. My next favorite is okay, let me back up. This one, we're going to have it kind of like an open and you'll see the inside of the petal. And then on this one, we're going to do more of a side of a petal. And then on this one, we're just going to do like a half shape flower. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one. I think it's important to get the inside of it first. So I'm going to use just a Payne's gray and I'm just going to use the tip of my brush and we are going to create just little dots all over. So I had a good amount of paint on the first one. I'm going to dry it and then just come in and make some lighter dots next to those darker dots. Docs. I can't talk today. So you just kind of fill it in with different values of the gray and just stipple. I'm also going to leave some white spots in there to emphasize that. That's first up on that one. This one's my favorite. Let's use a purple. I'm going to use this purple. It's a deep purple, but when you add so much water and stuff to it, it's so pretty. Okay, again, this one's going to be from the side. Whoops, we're just going to work from that. Bob Ross says there's no such thing as mistakes, just happy accidents. So that's what that was, just drip. So I'm going to, again, fill this in with lots of water. Lots of water. This is how you get the very soft, beautiful, transparent colors. The more water you have in it, the less pigment you have to pick out. Okay, we'll let that one be. Whoop, that's not dry. Give that a second. That one's not quite dry either. The reason why we're doing 3 different kinds in one sitting is because you have to let each layer dry before you can move on to the next one. The reason why we have to let each layer dry is because if you don't, then you lose these good, beautiful, crisp lines, and then you don't see the layering in the flowers. It all just kind of squishes together and you don't like that. So let them dry. If you need to use your other painting to kind of fan them out, you can. This one's, it was so close and then I touched it and I got a little spot on it, but we're going to work that spot out. It's no big deal. Okay, so I'm going to come back in with my pink. That's not the right color. Oh, I'm having fun today. Okay. Pink, and we are going to make an overlapping petal. They don't have to make any kind of sense in what shape you use. The more organic, the better. So I'm just kind of blending that color in. And I'm gonna dry it real good and pick that color out. Again, my kids call this hungry brush. I don't know what the technique is actually called. Lifting paint. I have no idea. My kids call it hungry brush because the brush is hungry. He's got to eat his water. Thirsty brush maybe would be better. He's got to drink his water. Okay, let that dry. Let's move to this one. Okay, this daisy is so beautiful with a good, strong blue. So you can use whatever color you want, but I love the blue. So again, fill it in with just water. You can probably, as long as your petals don't touch, you can do as many as you need to in one stop. I didn't have enough water in there to be able to pick it up. If you're finding that you can't pick up your pigment, add more water to it, rework the water into it, and then try again. If you don't have enough water in it, it won't pick it up, and it won't get that soft, beautiful, transparent look, okay? I'm gonna do one more of these petals just because I can in the middle without them touching. Lots of water, blend it in. Try it really good. There you go. Okay, there's that one. Let's let those dry and we'll come into our purple one. Again, this one's gonna be from the side. And I'm just kind of carefree putting random shapes together. It's okay if one doesn't match the other at the moment because we are going to come in and add more layers. And it's no big deal. I'm just adding more water at this point so I can get a softer look. The more water you use, the softer it is. I'm splashing everywhere. I've got so much water. My brush still has so much water in it, I'm just gonna kind of squeeze it out. This is what I mean when you can't pick it all out. I'm just adding more water to it after I've lifted a bunch of it out. I'm gonna rework it and come back in and do it again. This is also if you make a mistake on your paintings, this is how you can fix it. if you need to lift out a color, you can kind of just pull some of this out. Okay, that purple's a little messy, but we'll fix it as we do our more layers. It's no big deal. Pink. All right, again, I'm going to turn this a little bit so I can reach it better. I am just going to make a random shape and fill it in. More water. Maybe even a little more water. And dry it off. Thirsty brush, pick it out. All right, let that dry. Let's move to our blue. So this is all about just doing the same step over and over again, but layering on top of the other one, and it comes together quite nicely. Okay, so for our blue, now we're gonna layer, draw another petal on top of the others, and fill it in. This is the fun part, because this is where you can start to see the other petals behind it. All right, dry it off. And lift it out. Okay, do you see how beautiful this is? This is why you let the layers dry between petals, because then when you put this one on top of it, this was already behind it and the layers stack together. This is what we're going for. You can't really see it on the other ones yet, but that one, there it is. Okay. I'm gonna do one more over here. This daisy will come together faster because we can do more petals at a time. Whoops. I got a little cray with that water, y'all. I'm just picking up where I dribbled. Okay, dry brush. And lift it out. All right, see all those layers? Ooh, they're pretty. Okay, let's do our purple. I'm gonna kind of work with some of this that I just dribbled and kind of spat with. And I'm just going to, I always have so much water when I do my purple. I'm gonna just layer that. A little more water. Oh, see, I'm spitting everywhere. I'm trying not to rest my arms on the table so I don't rock it. This table's kind of wobbly. But probably, you guys can probably see it in the camera. Here we go. See how they're starting to layer? Ooh, it's so pretty. Okay, I'm going to do another one on the purple just to kind of put them together a little faster. However, I'm not touching this one that we just did at all. If you touch it, it will all blurb together and it won't work. So don't let the colors touch, okay? Because watercolor only goes where it's wet. So I'm going to come in and just add a little loopy guy right here just to kind of match this one. Oh, my Atlanta. Kind of messy with my water, but that's all right. Dry it off. You might need extra paper towels for this activity. Okay, and lift it out. My daughter loves, loves, loves doing these flowers with me. These are ones that I think kids would really enjoy. I think she just thinks it's funny that I call it hungry brush or thirsty brush. I don't even remember what she calls it. All right, so that one wasn't the most delicate or most pretty, but it'll all come together. It's all right. Pink. This one I'm gonna just kind of, my paper towel is a hot mess. I'm gonna let the pink go off the page. All right, let's do some blue. Okay, this purple one, now this gets into the fun part. We are going to, this is how it opens from the side. So it like kind of stems out. So this is where people get intimidated to add the layers, but you can just create a beautiful shape like that, like a guitar pick, if you will. A loosey-goosey guitar pick. Add more water. Dry it off real good. I'm gonna add more water and just kind of rework this. I want it a little softer than what it's currently at. There we go. Okay, let's do the pink. If you guys can see, I've got two different things of paint here. I'm using this one for the more darker colors like the purple and the blue, and I'm using this one for the light pink because I don't want my pink to get all like dark. So I'm keeping pink and darker colors separate. Okay, this one again, where you add the layers, this is where it gets fun. I'm going to add, I'm trying to decide if I want to make it smaller or bigger. I don't want it to bump into, I'm going to make it smaller because I'm looking at this visually, and I'm going to add another leafy one right here, and I don't want this to bump into this one. I want to keep them separate, although it might look pretty with them overlapped. You never know. So I'm just going to I'm keeping in mind that the center of my flower is going to be right here. When we're all done with the layers, that's where it's going to be the center of it. So man, I keep splashing. I'm not going to get that far to fix it, so I'm just picking that. Did you guys see that? Did you see what I just did? Flip it around. Try the other side. All right. I'm going to add another one over here. So this one I did bigger than the one that's below it. I might, after this one dries, go back in and emphasize the one that's below it to make it look like the smaller petals are coming forward. All right. We'll let that be for just a second. We'll see what it does.